Back with book number 16 for the year, Who Moved My Cheese by Dr. Spencer Johnson. Contrary to what people may believe about me, I've not always been an avid reader. And my reading journey really picked up in the last maybe 6 to 7 years, definitely the last 3 to 4. And so books like Who Moved My Cheese, I didn't get a chance to read those earlier in my life, but I marked them down. And this is one of those classic books that people recommend that you read. And so I got a chance to pick it up recently and I read it. And it's a pretty straightforward book that I think, in my interpretation, is about who you surround yourself with, but also how you look at resources and items that you can leverage for your success. How do you store up energy? How do you store up resources? How do you respond when it's time to go out and pursue new opportunities? What happens to you when things don't go your way? Do you have a sense of entitlement? Do you believe that things are supposed to fall in your lap? Do you go out and pursue new opportunities? When you get new accomplishments under your belt, do you use those things to sit back and be in a state of gluttony, or do you use it as fuel to go get the next thing? A very short book, a very easy read. I can see why people look at it as a classic book. It's one of those books that you end up, I think, in some situations reading more than one time as a refresher. It's a story about two groups of little people, mice and little people that are pursuing cheese. And so the author, Dr. Spencer Johnson, makes a comparison between the cheese that a mouse would pursue and the cheese in our lives. It could be career goals, personal goals. It could be accomplishing specific things in our lives. But how do you respond in this world that we refer to as a maze, so to speak, right? So you turn corners, you go around bends, you're looking for opportunities. And for some people, if the opportunity's right in front of them, they take advantage of it. But some of us don't always go after opportunities beyond what's right in front of us. And so it's a really good book about what happens when you wake up and realize that there's no more opportunity in front of you and you have to go out and get it. And in some instances, when you move in certain groups, there are people around you that may not be as motivated to move as you are. And as much as we care about people and we are concerned about them, how long do we wait around for them to move before we realize that we've got to move for ourselves, and then maybe leave behind some instructions for other people who might start that path after us? So it's a really good book, Who Moved My Cheese. I think it's a conversation starter between parents and kids. I would definitely recommend parents and kids read the book together, and parents use the book as an opportunity to create conversation around initiative, motivation, and getting things accomplished. It's a book that, even though I read it in my later years, I would suggest that it's a book that if you have children, you should get them in front of it and get their perspective on it. I think it would be interesting to hear kids talk to parents about how the book moved them. But again, Who Moved My Cheese, a book by Dr. Spencer Johnson, book 16 for me on the year. Again, I think it's a good family book for young readers and parents to talk about together, and to get the kids motivated and to think about initiative and how to move the needle to be able to get goals accomplished. So as always, I appreciate you guys for looking at these videos. If you've read the book, leave a comment or two about your reflection on the book. If you plan to get the book as a result of hearing this summary, let me know as well. Like the page, subscribe to it, and we'll talk soon.